we'll see how to use Sed command in Linux. Sed command in Unix stands for stream editor, and it can perform lot of functions on file like searching, find and replace, insert and delete. The most common use of Sed command in Unix is for substitution or for finding and replacing. By using Sed, one can edit files without even opening it, which is much quicker way to find and replace something in file than first opening the file in VI editor and then changing it. Sed command in Unix support regular expression, which allows it to perform complex pattern matching. If we see the syntax is sed options script input file. To understand more about that, we will be looking at some of the example. So let us look at some of the example of sed command. So we'll begin with substitute or replace. So for that we need a file where we will be substituting or replacing the word with another word. So I've already created the file, and the file is sample.txt. so you can see this is a sample file. So we will be using the sed command on this particular file. So the first command of sed is sed within single quote we have s, and suppose s represents substitute, and suppose we want to replace the occurrence of the word Unix all in small letters with the word Linux in capital letters. So the first option is for substitute, the second option represents the word which want to replace, and the third option in this case is the word which will be replaced with, and we are doing it in the file sample.txt. and if you see, Unix is replaced with Linux, but if you notice the second occurrence, third occurrence is not replaced, only the first occurrence is replaced. So what we will do, we will use the second option, or we'll change it globally with the option G. Now if you see in the previous file, this Unix was not changed, now here it is changed to Linux, this Unix is changed to Linux, and so on. And similarly, Unix changed to Linux, Unix changed to Linux. Point to be noted is that the changes are displayed on the screen. These are not actually changed in the actual file. So if I open the actual file and see the content will remain the same. So the command sed will change the content and print it on the screen, it will not print on the file. So this is one of the option. Suppose we want to change from the second occurrence. So if we want to change from the second occurrence, we can use again the same command. Now instead of G, we will replace it with 2. G is used to change all occurrence throughout the line as well as the entire file. So if we use the option 2, that means all the occurrence starting from the second pattern, that is Unix, if you see, is available here, but this will not change. The second occurrence is at this particular point in this fourth line. Again the second occurrence is from this particular point, and we see when we run it, if you see, the first occurrence is not changed, second occurrence is changed. Again if you see, second occurrence is changed. So we will use the G option, so that from second occurrence onward everything is changed, and we see that from the second occurrence onward everything is changed. In the previous file, if you see, second occurrence was changed, but the third occurrence was not changed because we only used 2. Now when I used G along with that, then all the occurrence of the word Unix will be changed with Linux. So if you see here also, Linux, Unix is changed with Linux. That's it. Now suppose we want to replace string on a specific line number. So suppose as an example, this is 1 2 3, line number 3. So we want to change Unix. So we want to change Unix. In this case, U is in capital letter, so Unix with Linux, we want to change that, and we want to change it for the third line. So the third line, that is why 3s. So we want to change or substitute the occurrence of the word Unix with U in capital letter with Linux for the third line. If I run it, we see that Unix was changed with Linux. If you see, Unix was changed with Linux. This is the original file. I will show the original file. This was not the original file. So cat sample.txt. So if you see, this is the original file where U is in capital. So this is the third line, and here on applying this particular command, third line substitute, so we substitute it with Linux. Now let us clear the screen and look at the next example. Suppose we want to duplicate the lines for which the search pattern is found. We want to duplicate the lines for which search pattern is found. So running the previous command, if you see, when I use the option P, this particular line is duplicated. So if I remove this 3, so wherever I found Unix in small letter will be replaced with Linux, and in the result it will be duplicated. So if you see, this was the line duplicated, this was the line, and it has been also duplicated. Remember that when I am not using the G option, only the first occurrence in the line will be changed. When you use G, all the occurrences will be changed. Now we'll see that if we want to print only the lines, which are being replaced with the pattern, so we give this -n option, and we see these are the two lines where the changes have taken place, that is small Unix or Unix in small letters is replaced with Linux. Now let us look at one more example. Suppose we want to change, so let us consider this particular line, welcome to Assam, and we want to change or substitute the capital letters or the letters in uppercase by uppercase letter enclosed within parenthesis. So if we want to do that, we will be using again the Sed command, and we can use substitute option, and because we want everything in capital letters, so this is the regular expression we have seen in the last class for grep. So any alphabet or any letter between A to Z which is in capital letter will be replaced by parenthesis. So we can use this particular option, and this will be done globally. So if we run it, we see that W comes in braces and A also comes to braces, as in this particular answer. You can run the same thing in the file also. So I can run the same thing in the file sample.txt, and we see that all the capital letters, in this case U, N, has been replaced with capital letter within braces, as you can see here also. Then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So this is also one more of the example of substitute by using the set command. Now let us look at how to delete using the set command. Again, I would like to say that the operation being performed by sed is not on the file. The result will be displayed onto the screen. You can save the result back onto a new file. So if I clear the file and open the file, so this is our file, and suppose I want to delete the line number 4, which is this is line number 4, 1 2 3 4. So simply I have to type sed, and within single quote line 4 I want to delete, so D is for delete, and name of the file sample.txt, and you can see line 4, N was in capital letter in Unix, and that line 4 is not available. Similarly, if you want to use the set command to delete the last line, in this case the last line contains the number 22, so you can simply use dollar symbol with D, and you can type the name of the file for which we want to delete, and you see the last line is deleted. Suppose I want to delete in a range, so what I can do, I can provide the options. For example, I want to delete in the range of 3 to 6, so the line 3 to 6 I want to delete in the file sample.txt and print it. So you can see line 3 to 6 is deleted. Some content which was there, it is deleted. If it is not clear, we can see this is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if I delete 5 and 6, this hello world and this particular line will come together. So let us change. So line 5 and 6, if I want to delete, this two blank lines will be deleted. You can see that lines are deleted, blank lines are deleted. Similarly, you can also select a range from line number to the last line by representing it using dollar, and you can see from 5th line onwards everything else is deleted. 5th line onwards everything else is deleted. Also, if we want to delete a particular pattern, so we can use again set command sed. Suppose the pattern is Unix, this one I want to delete, so I want to delete Unix, so simply you put D for delete and the name of the file, and you see wherever in the line Unix was there, those lines were deleted because the pattern is found in those lines, so those lines were deleted. So that's about the delete operation that can be used in sed. Now let us look at spacing, or we can add space in the file. So the first command we can use, or I will open the file once to show the result. Okay, this is the original file, and when I want to add space, so I want to add a blank space to the file sample.txt, and you see one blank space is added after each line. Suppose I want to add 2 blank spaces, then I have to put it within quote and 2g, because I want to add 2 lines, 2 blank lines, and you can see the result. 2 blank lines are added, 1 line, and this is the second line. So you can see that way we can add blank spaces. So suppose I want to add some spaces before each of the line starts. So what I will do, I will use substitute, and the option is cap, and then how many spaces I want to add before each line. Suppose I want to add 2 spaces, so one space is already there, second space and quote and the file name. So you can see space is added. So if you want to increase the space, just add more space. So one space is added, second, third, fourth, and you run. So you can see original file and the new file, initially one space was removed, and this now 1 2 3 4 spaces are removed. 4 spaces are there before each of the line. So that's about your set command. There are few more options, you can Google it out and see that in the net. So that's all for now. We'll discuss more about Linux command in the next class.